Very good morning. Thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Hope you had a good weekend. The cold weather that's been over the UK is now starting to kind of ease back, and of course we've got the much milder air now starting to pull into the northwestern half of the British Isles. While we've still got residual cold trying to hold on over East Anglia and the southeast. But certainly over the near continent, we've got some colder air in place across northern France down into Spain. And what's interesting is while we've seen a pullback of the really extreme cold over Europe, we'll have a bit of a kind of slosh situation going on where you've got a lot of cold air that's kind of just sitting, hanging over southern Europe, while we've got a significant moderation in temperature further north. So places like Germany, Poland, the Balkans, the Baltic states, sorry, and into Western Russia, we've got some milder air now in place. But you notice here underneath that, we still have some fairly cold air in place, and that is a key factor as to the next few days because we're going to see significant snowfall. I mean, really significant snowfall across parts of eastern Italy to the east of the Apennines and also over the Balkan region. And I'll show you why in just a second here. But this is the morning lows yesterday morning across Europe. And this is what I'm talking about here. Some chilly air across the UK, but of course, we're starting to see that getting chipped away as we pull in air from the Atlantic once again. But all this cold air has been forced down into Spain, France, and through the southern half of the continent here, while over top we're starting to see that warmer air push back in. So as that warmer air pushes in, it's forcing that cold air down into the southern half of Europe. Now, we've seen some very dramatic snowfall across parts of the Pyrenees, the higher elevations of Spain, through France, the Alpine region here, very significant snow. And the reason why is because we've got low pressure that is floating about over this part of the world here. So with cold air in place over the southern half of Europe, area of low pressure here over Italy, and of course moisture from a still relatively warm Mediterranean pushes into that cold air that's kind of stacked up down across the southern half of the continent. We see significant snowfall at that. And we're going to see more sea effect snowfall across eastern parts of Italy, up into the Balkan region. So it's a very significant winter pattern. We're still holding on to a cold pattern. This has been a cold first half to January for Europe, that's for sure. And it's playing out somewhat as I expected across the UK and Western Europe, where it's a back and forward fight between Atlantic and Arctic. Arctic air is certainly winning over Europe here, but for the UK, I would say the Atlantic's probably winning at this moment in time. But in the written post, I will show you the temperature anomaly for the continent thus far and just how cold it's been over Europe and even what it's like across the UK. But we've seen a back and forward. Notice any cold spell has been very short lived here across the British Isles. But we've seen snow now in London. We've seen snow in the southern half of the British Isles. We've seen more snow up across the northern half of the UK. But many people over the last 5 days have seen their first snow of the season here. Would you call it a particularly bad winter? No, not by any stretch. It doesn't mean to say that as we push towards the end of January and into February, we don't have more in the way of winter. And probably the first sustained spell of winter weather is a possibility. I'm not saying it's definite, but I'm saying it is a possibility. So as we skip through this week, excuse me, as we skip through this week, a nice big 1041 millibar high sitting over Western Germany. So it settles the whole weather pattern down. We're entering a fairly benign pattern across the UK, Ireland, much of Central Europe. But notice here, remember the cold air is stuck to the south of this high. It can't go anywhere. But when you've got an area of low pressure pulling moisture in off the Mediterranean, you've got the recipe for very heavy, significant, crippling snowfall. And that is expected across parts of eastern Italy, the Balkans here, even northern parts of Greece. But you can also see here as well, area of low pressure here sitting to the east of Gibraltar We've got enough cold air here that we could be seeing some surprise snowfall even down across southern parts of Spain as well. So it's interesting. Let's have a quick look at the snowfall totals here over the next 5 days. And like I say, we are expecting some big snowfall totals here. The UK weather pattern is rather quiet at this moment in time, but I don't think it's going to just hold that way forever. But you can see here over the next 5 days, we're talking about some pretty pretty impressive snow totals here across areas to the east of the Apennines, like I say, of Italy and into the Balkan region as well here. So, and we've also got some snow across northern parts of Algeria, which is very interesting to see as well. So, look at Spain, upwards of over 2 feet in the mountains of southeastern Spain. So we've got plenty more winter weather to come, even if we're not seeing it here across the UK at the moment in time. It's certainly an interesting winter for southern parts of Europe overall. And do hold in there. There is a possibility of a sudden stratospheric warming event seen by the GFS and other models, which may indicate something a little bit more wintry for us here in Western Europe as we go towards the month of February. So hope you have a great Monday, and I shall be back in the next couple of days, hopefully on Wednesday. Bye for now.